Welcome to the Gator Report, your inside look at Land O'Lakes High School football. I'm joined each week by head coach Dan Goodspeed as we break down the game, talk strategy, and highlight moments that made a difference. And we'll reveal this week's Gator Press Box Player of the Game. Congratulations on the shutout victory in the preseason game. We kicked off our 50th season in a grand fashion.
Yes.
So congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Just your overall thoughts of the game before we dive into defense, offense, all that.
There's a lot of good things being done on the field, but, I want to talk about the atmosphere of the Swamp. I mean, the band sounded amazing. You did a great job. The fans showed up. There's a great,
They did.
Student section, which we love to have them, and we're getting our banner out and try to train somebody to do the.
They did that.
They did it.
I got to see that.
Very
they did
cool.
it very well. Executed.
Nice, good. Because I would like that to kind of build going forward. I think that's kind of the tradition in some colleges these days. So why not us?
Bucks do it too.
Oh, they have one now too.
Oh, two, both end zones.
Oh man,
yeah.
I haven't been to a game in a while.
Yeah.
So, so the atmosphere was great. I saw a post on Twitter from Pasco County Sports. Is that their handle?
Pasco County football.
Yeah,
Tom,
football.
Yeah,
Tom. He was at the game and he posted about how this is how Friday nights should feel with the people in the stands and the concession stand buzzing and the band and the cheerleaders and just that Friday night lights that we've been sitting here talking about for my past 3 years of this is what we want to bring to Land O'Lakes.
Right.
And it's not all me; it's everything that goes into it.
Sure.
The band and the cheerleaders and all that. But to have that recognized by an outsider that hasn't been here before, it's that's the compliment you're looking for. So we must be moving in the right direction. So that was great. But overall, pretty good. I liked a lot of things I saw on film after we broke it down, and it's good. It's football season again, so now I'm exhausted because I was up all night watching film. But I loved the team, how we looked. It's always tough in the preseason. When you're just hitting each other. Land O'Lakes isn't on our schedule, but we beat we beat each other up pretty well over the fall training camp.
Sure.
And you never have a great idea what you're going to be. And last night I thought that overall the defense looked very hard-hitting and fast. I thought they did a really good job. Obviously, when you don't give up any points, it's a very good job. Offensively, we had a couple question marks here and there, and I think they've got erased. And pass protection looked really good. We got to clean up some things in the run game. Mm-hmm. And then special teams, I think there was more production last night. We had a couple big returns, both on kickoff return and punt return, and we covered a kick. So that's good.
Yeah.
That's improved.
The shutout is great. We had a big game. I kind of predicted Faria would have a good game. We called his number a bunch.
Yeah.
Volstead, we called his number several times, but the thing that stood out for me from the press box on those were some violent tackles.
Yeah, that's where I think he really stood out. I think we mentioned, I haven't checked the stats yet, but his stats wasn't as high as you would imagine them. But when they were going to hit, they were big hits.
Yeah.
So, but that's what a middle linebacker does. They just hit.
That's right.
And Danilo, we've been waiting for this time. His job in all aspects of the game, and his presence on the sidelines was something that was much needed and something that everybody sitting in the stands or the film doesn't show, but leadership.
Okay. Well, and then of course you can't talk about last night without talking about Jake Mason. I think he had 4 sacks, one of a strip sack, at least one strip sack. That's what we've come to expect from him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's going to keep, rocketing up this way because he has a renewed sense of, he had a great offseason working out, and now I think his mentality's changed a little bit, and I don't think he's going to be denied his sacks. So, and just played overall really well and violent and did the things that we're asking of him to do. And I thought he had a great night. He was pretty happy after the game. So I expect, big things from him. So he needs to go and do what he is capable of doing.
Yeah. Switch over to the offensive side of the ball. Get too deep into your game planning because it was a preseason game, and you maybe trying to work some stuff out or try some stuff or whatever. But the Houston Clemente connection is predictable. It's a wonderful thing to have something like that, and these guys have been playing together for a while now. They're growing together, so that wasn't so unexpected necessarily. But tell us about some of the other stuff that you saw on offense besides those two guys.
Yeah, no, they did a great job, both of them. The question mark, we have we graduated a few of the seniors on the offensive line last year. There were big parts of what we did, so we had to make guys step up this year. And Alejandro Davies, he had a great offseason, and he's looking the whole part. And when I flipped on the film, there was violence. And, I preached that there needs to be, pass protective isn't passive, right? We're going to be aggressive in that area too. And, he's knocking people down and being physical, so that was great to see. We bumped Grayson over to guard to give him some time out there. I thought he did a great job, because we did it late into the week. And so, but as a center, you kind of control the offense, so he knows what he's doing. I thought he did a really good job. The one that kind of surprised, I didn't surprise me. I knew he was capable of it, but, Tavo did a great job at right tackle. He was, staying with blocks for a long time. And then, and I love where his development's at. And then Bryce over at left tackle. Every day he gets a little bit better in his technique, and it's starting to shine a little bit. And I thought they did a really good job pass protecting.
Yeah.
And the hard part is when you go against our defense, day in and day out in practice, you're going to automatically get better because they're going to make you move your feet. But, sometimes in practice it gets a little frustrating because, we're getting a pressure here or we're getting, moved over here.
Yeah.
And that's starting to slow down a little bit because we're starting to catch back up with, our youth on the line. But, to go against our defense is invaluable going through the season because you get every look. So, I was pretty happy with what they did overall.
Houston stayed upright the whole game, I think.
He did, yes. The only time he was down was when he was, pulling the ball on a read, or when just pulling down when nothing opened up and he scrambled downfield.
Right.
And, it was nice to see the offensive linemen going there, dragging guys off the pile, pulling their quarterback or their running back up.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw a Clemente blocking for Houston when he pulled it down one time, and he got a good hit there.
Well, across the board, I think, the receivers, we've made them understand that, if you want the ball, you got to be, willing blockers. Mm-hmm. And not something that, we need as a football team, but also, scouts are looking at that. That's part of the game now. Mm-hmm. So they did a really good job with that.
Yeah, he got flushed out a couple of times, but, that's one of his strengths is rolling out and finding he's always got his eyes downfield.
Yep.
He's never given up on the pass. He sticks in there. So, good performance by the offense, I thought. Let's talk about special teams. I think the thing that stands out is a 45-yard field goal.
Yep, I was in practice, and I asked Ian, on Thursday or Wednesday, I said, "Where's our cap? Where do we need to get to?" And he says, "Well, I'm pretty sure we can get it from here." So I said, "All right, rep it out." So he took a couple, strokes at it and, made it. So I said, "Okay, if we get into that opportunity, I'm gonna, put it out there." And I think he would be good for me even further. So really good to see by him. The field goal protection was really good. I like what we're doing there. We put a big emphasis on special teams this year because we want to talk about winning those 3 phases of the football game. Mm-hmm. Usually, they say if you win 2 phases of the 3, then you're in pretty good shape to win the ball game.
Right.
But I think for us, if we spend more time on special teams and put a huge focus on that, that could be a little bit more of an edge in games. So, I thought the return game was pretty good. Kickoff return. Now we only got to see it once, but I mean it looked pretty solid. What we're doing there. We got the punt once. The protection was good. We got off a decent punt, so that was good. And then so covering kicks, right? That was an issue we had last year, and we put a huge focus on that. We're going to change up where we're dropping the football. Sometimes take a shot deep, and I think Ian had 1 or 2 touchbacks. So ideally, that's what we want.
Yeah.
But if we don't get it there consistently, we got to make sure we're taking advantage of ball placement.
Yeah.
So overall, pretty good in there. So we're just going to keep improving on that.
Yeah. We did have a one missed extra point. I think it was a snap issue.
Yep.
Which in last year, 1 point was in 2 games. I think was come down to 1 point. So I got
to bring up old wounds. Huh?
I know. I saw that and I was like, oh, I hope this doesn't come down to 1 point. This is gonna not be good. But you guys handled it.
Hey, no. Overall, during the summer and fall and training camp, AJ's handling our long snapping stuff,
Okay.
and I think he's done a great job. I think it's just the sweat of the night, and that's something we got to work through because we're going to play in some rain games, and it's going to be hot and everything. I think it just got away from him a little bit when he flipped his hands back there. So he immediately came to the sidelines like, "Coach, I know what I did wrong. I'll fix it." And that's what you expect from a guy who can do it in a player like him. So I was happy to hear him say, "Coach, I got it self-corrected. I'm good."
Awesome.
So,
Yeah. Well, good. All right. Let's talk about penalties. Had quite a healthy amount of penalties in this game, but I think they were more aggressive penalties than procedural penalties.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to kind of break that down and take a look at that?
So I looked at the penalties on the offensive side of the ball last night. We had one block in the back, which is just hold back a pretty good run by Isaiah. We had, when the young guys got in, we had a couple penalties just because I think the lights were shining very bright and, just getting lined up and, anticipating the moment. So that'll kind of wear off and be better. But we did change the snap count a lot. So we were able to draw the defense off sides a few times, which I think the offensive line handled pretty well with the first group. Trying to think what else we had. I think we had a holding in the block of the back. So
yeah. I think
not terrible, but I mean, you kind of expect some of those in the preseason because it kind of moves in a different speed. And when you come out of your training camp, you're fighting for the job, and you're trying to you sometimes get a little lazy with it, and then it changes the speed out there a little bit. So I think you're expecting some of those, but they're very correctable. So that's the good thing.
Yeah, I think there was a couple of either punt returns, maybe a kickoff return.
Well, kick return, we had a blindside block, which again, they got to be able to see the numbers, but I think they were all geeked up, ready to play, and they wanted to hit. So
yeah, but with your returner, potentially breaking one all the way,
right?
It's important not to make.
Yeah, but and then we have 2 good ones back there with Josh and X.
Right.
So that's something that we just need to keep working on and getting better at.
Right. I'm just curious. We want to look when you come off of a shutout win with putting up 37 points. How do you keep the guys from getting,
too high on that, looking like
too high. Like,
hey, listen, it's the old thing in football, right? You got 24 hours to enjoy your win, right? And it's time to move on. And I think that's the part of what we need to grow up as a football team and as a program, right? One of my old favorite sayings from one of my coaches that sticks with me to this day is, if what you did yesterday still looks good today, you ain't done nothing today, right? And so he used different words, but we'll clean it up a little bit. But my point being is, and I think we've fallen in this trap before. 2 seasons ago, after we beat Victory Christian, right, in the preseason. And then we kind of got into a lull. Last year we beat Mineola, right? And then we get into a lull. And it kind of funnels throughout the season.
Yeah.
But now is the time that, as our growth keeps going on, is to be focused and say, all right, that's not our ceiling right there. That's the basement. So let's keep going up from there.
Right. I mean, the competition, it's all wins are all relative to the competition, and I don't want to take anything away from Lake Minneola's program, but there are some tough teams ahead in this schedule. So,
and I think that's how exactly you have to view it. I mean, every game you have to get better, and I think my feelings have been felt by the team. With it's not about Twitter. Twitter's not going to win you any football games. What you did in the offseason, great, right? You needed to do that. But that doesn't ultimately win you a football game on Friday night. What happens is on Friday, when you get after it and bite down on your mouthpiece and get into somebody's face or drive them off the football, that's what's going to win a football game. So that's what we need to unhook from is the Instagram, I look like this and everything. You got to go out and play, right? Day in and day out. That's what scouts want to see. That's what I want to see. That's what our fans want to see. And if we want to get to where we want to go, that's what you have to do. And obviously you see my voice has changed on it because I've been projecting this for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then the other thing that is a kind of I would think is challenging is when you don't have to face adversity in that first game. Now that lesson for the 2025 Gators is still yet to come. There's going to be a game, what could be next week, that you're going to be behind. You're going to have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You're going to have to, deal with some sort of adversity that things didn't go your way, and we don't know what this 2025 team's going to react at.
And 100% agree with you, and that's part of the the intestinal fortitude of each team. As you go forward, like where their courage, if you want to call it, or grit, right? I use that word a lot. Where it comes from, and you don't know until you have that adversity. But the difference is now, because we've had a senior class go through, they've went through great times, they went through hard times. Now, as you grow a program, you think that hopefully we've learned those lessons from the senior class, and they can say, hey, don't worry, we got this. We've been here before. We know what it looks like. So that's what you hope as a program grows, that you have those traditions. And when I mean traditions, it's not always just, the fight song or anything, but it's the highs, the lows that you can look back on and say, hey, we've been here before, right? We've been here when we were at the top of the mountain, and we've been here when we were at the bottom of the mountain, and we know the difference. So that's where, I'm hoping the senior and junior class that have went down these roads know the difference.
You'll be preparing for this game. Who should we be watching from River Ridge? Who are the game wreckers?
Honestly, we just got the film, but so I haven't really looked at it that much because I've been kind of grading our film. I think more self-evaluation is more important than future. I am a film guy, so I'll be going through it anyways. But at this point, it was more important to get the evaluations done. But I will tell you this, Coach Reed does a great job. I mean, we were teammates, tried to get him to coach here. He took over the River Ridge program. Stay in contact with him. Once a month at least we'll talk, if not more. Really good coach, and he'll get him ready to play. And I think it kind of goes back to last year. I think at halftime, if I'm remembering correctly, we were up 20-0 or somewhere around there, a large margin. And he kept his guys in it and fought back and to win the football game. And that's how, good of a job he's doing with the program.
Yeah.
So that's what we need to understand, that they're going to fight you for 4 quarters.
Okay. We are going to start this season with a Gator Press Box Player of the Game.
I like it.
So I think based on what we saw last night, our first ever Gator Press Box Player of the Game for Lake Minneola is going to be Jake Mason.
Ooh, good choice. Very good choice.
So yeah, we're going to try to evaluate that. Maybe get a little input from some of the other folks around the program, and just announce. Right now we're going to do one, but maybe we'll switch it up. Maybe we'll have offense and a defense going down the road. But with the 4 sacks, the strip sack, yeah, that's my player of the game for this week.
Good choice. I thought he played well, and that's what we need to get out of him. I mean, he's capable of it. He just has to do it day in and day out.
All right, Coach. Well, I appreciate you coming out here on Saturday after the game. And
love talking football. You
know
that.
Appreciate you.
Yep,
Thanks so much. Go Gators.
Go Gators.